What I like about the way liberals are responding to this shows me that by and large, Pod Save America watching liberals, New York Times reading liberals are also fed up with establishment centrist candidates, because under different circumstances, they would be running well, Graham Platner's chances look really bad, so we should do vote blue no matter who and go with the establishment pick, Janet Mills. But they're not doing that. Janet Mills is right there. Chuck Schumer loves Janet Mills. Chuck Schumer is pushing for Janet Mills. And yet all of these liberals are unironically championing a dude who literally got a Nazi tattoo on his chest. So they're saying, I don't give a about that. I'm willing to turn a blind eye to that because we need this kind of rugged, real American guy with really stupid, indecipherable politics that ultimately says, first and foremost, Israel's doing a genocide, which clearly is giving him a lot of institutional credibility, or not institutional credibility, but like credibility in the eyes of the voter base. Okay. And they're looking at his track record, or they're looking at his statements on Reddit, and they're saying there's nothing wrong here. I think that's a good thing. Okay, the Nazi stuff, not so good. But I do think it's a good thing that you have a bunch of libtards that are saying, 10 toes down, I would rather go with this dude with a horrifying track record who, in his most private moments, at most, has said he's a commie. He's a radical commie. He's Antifa. So yes, it's a bit like the New York Times liberals defending you in the comments after that guy called you a terrorist who wants 9/11. Yes, liberals are changing. I think by and large, liberals are changing. I think liberals, by and large, are far more comfortable with a person that in his private moments, the bar is so low for you, that is really sad. Can we just abandon electoralism and start a revolution instead? Sometimes I can't tell if like these guys are the agents in my chat. Let me ask you something, chatter. Whose technical proficiency are you going to utilize when you are doing a violent revolution? If you think every single veteran is a baby murderer that needs to be imprisoned instantly, can you point to a single instance where there has been a vanguard that has not been comprised almost entirely of disillusioned veterans, for example? You're being dishonest? No, it just doesn't even make sense in his own. I am trying to steel man his position here. We're not even talking about the Nazi tattoo, which I think is irredeemable for the record. Okay? It's utterly ridiculous. I'm just asking people, when people go, dude, time to abandon, well, they have to face some accountability. Come on, dude. Time to abandon the electoralism route. Revolution now, guys. Weirdly enough, don't even think about how that shit works. I care more about the fact that liberals hear a guy who says, yeah, I did tours. I felt very disillusioned. I was very angry. Okay. And I want Medicare for all. You shouldn't have to be a veteran and get busted up to get government funded healthcare. Shit like that is playing a major role in the ways that liberals approach the conversation, and that is a good thing. Okay? I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Can you point to a single moment in history where a successful revolution occurred by working within the existing ruling party apparatus? Virtually every single instance until there's an opportunity for there to be a vanguard party to be formed. Like literally every single one. Every single revolution has had tireless work and countless work leading up to the moment of revolution. Every single one. It is obvious to me that many chatters have learned about communist history and socialist revolution from internet memes rather than actually reading. And I suspect it's my fault. It's my failure. Because when I say, oh, I shouldn't be the only person you learn this stuff from, and you should actually actively seek it out on your own, say one, go ahead, not a single party said, oh, we'll work with a liberal bourgeois party and get the money bourgeois elements out of it. What are you talking about? That's not what I'm talking about at all. Every single successful revolution has taken years and years of formative work working within the existing political constructs before that moment happens. Every single one. The difference between you and I is either you are being oblivious deliberately or are not acknowledging the history. There has never been formative, spontaneous organizing without exhausting the available tools within the working party infrastructure. Ruben Gallego, a Marine who also had PTSD on Graham Platner, but you know, everyone has a right to grow and grow out of their stupidity, essentially, and I think voters should take the opportunity to evaluate that. I've never seen so much backing for a candidate that is unironically, oh yeah, the other side of the Janet Mills story is that Janet Mills pardoned a man she defended in a sexual assault case. She's still better than Graham Platner, of course, obviously. A young man at a Maine school was a rising basketball star with interest from Division I programs and NBA aspirations, according to one of his lawyers. Aaron Nichols, who was 20 years old then, was also charged with sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl and having unlawful sexual contact with another teen in the fall of 2001 when he attended prep school at Maine Central Institute in Pittsfield, which had one of the nation's best basketball programs. After entering a not guilty plea, the lawyers told reporters her 20-year-old client had no criminal record and things happen between teenagers that may be blown out of proportion. As a Janet Sari, I think this is, I'm still riding with her because she didn't tour in Iraq and Afghanistan. We certainly hope that the incident does not result in devastating blow to his academic and professional career, Janet Mills, who was then a state lawmaker, said in January 2002. As a governor more than 2 decades later, Mills pardoned Nichols, who pleaded guilty in 2003 to a misdemeanor assault charge that drew a suspended 1-year sentence with probation. Mills, a Democrat, has used their constitutional power to issue dozens of pardons since taking office in 2019. But the June 2023 pardon for Nichols is a rarer case of a governor granting clemency to someone they once represented. While governors across the country have been accused of favoritism and unethical conduct for certain pardons, legal experts say nothing bars Mills from issuing such a pardon or makes it a clear conflict of interest. How is she pro-Israel in name only? Just curious. I was being sarcastic, man. Come on. Please pick up on the sarcasm. Bro, you have not confirmed you are being sarcastic about Mills and you got more viewers this week. Lamafayal, let him know. Yeah, it's fine. You've been doing this for a long time, yet you don't seem to understand our frustration. He felt the need to go 3 times to Iraq to kill brown people and join Blackwater. Yes, it's not that I don't understand your frustration. It's that I don't care about your frustration. I don't think you understand. If we're talking about electoralism, what's the difference between Graham Platner, in the absence of the Nazi tattoo for sure, versus Amy McGrath? One is electable, the other is not. One is electable because they are promoting a left populist platform. Amy McGrath, on the other hand, also lasered babies in the Air Force and is not electable and will never be electable. Democrats run veterans all around the country. Democrats run veterans all around the country. They run literal CIA operatives all around the country, whether it be Elisa Slotkin or whether it be Abigail Spanberger, people who literally say, I loved being in the CIA. I played a formative role in torturing prisoners. It was awesome. And Democrats go, that's sick. But the one time there's who's like, yeah, I want Medicare for all. I think this, the illegal war stuff was really up. It me up. I have great shame and I carry this weight with me everywhere I go. I was really up. And every leftist goes, nah, kill this person. Speaking of which, I obviously, given my background, will of course push for Amy McGrath again. Our democracy is under siege. Cowards in Washington are bowing to Donald Trump, and the Kentuckians are paying the price. Kentuckians deserve someone battle-tested and ready to fight for them day one. I've spent my life stepping up when the mission was tough and the stakes were high. First as a Marine, and now for Kentucky. I'm ready to complete the mission. Will you join me?
I'm Amy McGrath. This isn't just a chair. It's an open seat.
Hell yeah.
And this video, no slogans, no gimmicks, no BS. What we're seeing in this country from this president, not normal, dangerous for Kentuckians and for all Americans. You might know me. I'm Amy McGrath. When I joined the Marines, I swore an oath to the
For me, it's like, if we're gonna have vets running, I would much rather have left flank vets running in positions on an objectively leftist platform than whatever this nonsensical centrist bullshit is, okay? You were bastardizing Lenin's name. Yes, Lenin said to work with the bourgeois parliament, though only within a class-independent party. How can you say we're not ripe for class politics? Look at your party in UK. You have no trust in the working class. I used to really respect you, but now you're just holding the workers' movement back like so many reformers before you. Yes, I'm holding the workers' movement back. You, on the other hand, are going to successfully foment revolutionary sentiment amongst the working class tomorrow. Okay? I'm saying we're not there in the United States of America, especially. I'm the bad guy. I am the hurdle. I am the hurdle. You're right. Posting all day, it's Lenin is what Lenin would do. Unironically, they did post a lot, to be fair. Socialist, revolutionary, they loved writing, and they loved writing about other socialists, other ideological tendencies. They did unironically post non-stop, perhaps too much. Everybody wrote back then, though.
Constitution to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I flew F-18 fighter jets, 89 combat missions. I know what courage looks like. Right now, way too many politicians don't. And Americans are being thrown under the bus by cowards in Washington without the moral backbone to serve our nation with honor. You deserve a senator who acts with decency and patriotism, who believes in the goodness and the promise of America. This open Kentucky seat will decide the balance of power.
It's not that you are the enemy. It's just the foxes and the wolves dynamic is taking place in the people. This is what Malcolm X repeatedly talked about. Yeah. I'm in a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Power in the Senate. The stakes are high. We all need to step up and act with courage to meet this moment.
Dude, we got to give her $17 quintillion. Okay, this time it's going to happen. Even though last time she fundraised an unimaginable amount and lost by 30 points to a turtle-shaped dipshit who can't even stand up straight. But this time is different, okay? It's gonna happen, dude. It's gonna happen. I swear. Here's my issue. How much leeway do we give him? Where do we draw the line? I don't know. I feel like the Nazi tattoo thing is a decent line to draw for many. All I was saying is I'm actually quite encouraged that liberals have looked at his background, at his Reddit posts, and him being like, I'm a communist, I'm a socialist, I'm a revolutionary, blah, 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 and have not felt discouraged and are still firmly committed to him. That actually blows my mind. Do with that information what you will, but I feel like you get a lot of mileage if you don't have Graham Platner's baggage and you are running on a campaign similar to that. That's what I'm seeing. And honestly, I don't give a about what the leftists have to say about not Graham Platner, but any left flank candidate that could run potentially, because God damn it, we got some better allies right now. The Barbers and the Debras, it seems, are way more invested, and have a firm commitment to the notion that a left populist candidate will actually destroy even red seats and will seize control over purple territories. Mamdani hasn't gotten an ounce of this charitability. That's not true. You're wrong. Mamdani is unimaginably popular amongst the very same libs that are also defending Graham Platner right now. Oh my God. Are you joking? Oh, dude. I think Zohran Mamdani is beloved in spite of the fact that he is brown and Muslim. Do you know how racist? Guys, the reason why I didn't bring up the Nazi tattoo when I was talking about how liberals don't consider that to be bad, as opposed to him saying he's a communist and a socialist, is because liberals, by and large, I suspect, would be way more angry about him saying he's a revolutionary communist. We must rise up with the armed working class to foment revolution, all this shit that he said. Okay? Liberals are probably going to be more pissed off about Graham Platner saying shit like that than the Nazi tattoo. Graham Platner has a skull and crossbones tattoo he's got as a soldier. James Tallarico is a Teach for America grifter funded by casino interests. Mallory McMorrow is a secret APAC plan for donors. Guess what pearl clutchers think is scandalous? The reason anyone pretends to care about Platner's tattoo and Reddit posts is because they think he's coming after the rich. That's it. That's all it's about. They hate populists because we actually believe in equality that terrifies him. I want a vigorous examination into Platner. This Oppo dump on his tattoo and Reddit post isn't that. I think a big part of the reason why the centrist Dems are coming after him, even though his left flank is like actually defending him, is because of the if his campaign, in spite all odds, is able to overthrow Susan Collins, I need you to understand something, okay? If Graham Platner, as a left populist, disillusioned veteran, like that's how he's presented himself, if his campaign, his left populist campaign, not like whatever you guys think and whatever you're mad about, because I'm not even talking about his like policy agenda once he's in office. Who knows where he goes, okay? Will he probably be like an institutional Dem? It seems he's so malleable that perhaps, yes. I don't think he has like as aggressive of a backbone to defend like leftist positions unconditionally, uncompromisingly, okay? But if he wins on a left populist flank in a purple area and takes over a red seat, I don't think you guys understand what kind of incredible changes that can come from that. Maybe it's because I'm too close to the issue as a political commentator who speaks to the Democrats all the time, both behind closed doors and also on the stream. But one of the number one arguments that the Matt Iglesiases of the world have consistently presented against left populist candidates is this idea that it doesn't work. It only works in New York if it does. It doesn't work in red districts. It doesn't work for purple seats. How dare you? Okay? I'm telling you, dude, if this gets across the finish line, in spite of all of his ridiculous and awfully suspicious red flag riddled background on a platform that's like, I don't give a f- I just want everyone to have health care. Yeah, I was a veteran. I was up. I was stupid. Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I got a Nazi tattoo. So stupid. But like, I still want everyone to have health care. Like, I'm backed by all the labor unions. Like, if he runs on that campaign and he wins a red Senate seat, dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm putting my nutsack on every table inside of the goddamn Capitol. Okay, I'm stamping my nuts. Every Democrat can suck me from the back after that. Okay. Oh, what happened? I thought this was just a Zoran thing. I thought it couldn't work anywhere else. I thought it was because New York is woke and gay. The opportunities are endless. Okay. I'm from Maine. He's our best candidate. I don't care what some terminally online folks who couldn't point out Maine on a map think about our choice between Platner and a couple shitty lib dinosaurs. Probably won't door knock for him again, though, lol. Okay, well, if you think he's the best option, you should still continue doing that. Say the same thing with Fetterman, bro. He literally chased down a black man saying the same shit in terms of policy. We already established this is a real tried and proven method. No, because Fetterman's victory was still firmly within the hands of like the Democrat establishment, within the confines of like the Democratic Party. I suspect that even if Fetterman's opposition in the primaries won, he still would have defeated Dr. Oz. Like Connor Lamb would have also defeated Dr. Oz, which probably my biggest probably my biggest L. Who knew that Connor Lamb would be an infinitely better choice? That was flexing. He was basically running around talking about how, you know, Israel is doing a genocide actually as a way to just say you to everybody, all the progressives that voted for John Fetterman. Literally, Connor Lamb was like, yeah, the Democrats really need to stop with this Israel shit. I was like, come on! Are you kidding me? You can't be running around as a shitty-ass neoliberal against John Fetty-Wap only to turn around and be like, just kidding, dude. I actually would have been way better, okay? And Connor would have probably been the same, to be honest, is wrong. John Fetterman is a uniquely bad candidate. No, I do not believe that Connor Lamb, regardless of how much of a shitty establishment neolib he was, would be capable of behaving like a guy who has a unique brain. Also, I can't understand why so many people, I think so many people were so bricked by Fetterman, no pun intended. So many people were bricked by Fetterman that they just cannot see a world outside of John Fetterman. John Fetterman is a once in a lifetime situation. Okay. He got brain damage. It's not like he's hiding it. Like he literally he stroked out so hard, he became a conservative. Like it's not even like a Kyrsten Sinema style situation, because Kyrsten Sinema, by the time she was running for office, was already like saying that she was a centrist. Okay. Kyrsten Sinema, by the time she was running for office, was saying she's a centrist. John Fetterman literally wasn't saying anything while he was running for office the last time around, because his brain had bricked up. And then once he was in office, he was like, I actually am the worst conservative you ever met. Chris Van Hollen had a stroke at the same time, and I didn't become Fetterman. Wait, what? Wait. Oh my God. Is this equilibrium? Is that why Chris Van Hollen is so woke now? Oh my God. Shut the f up. Are you serious? Did Chris Van Hollen actually have a stroke at the same time? Dude, do strokes happen in that way where like they hit people with a stroke gun, but the target becomes a Nazi, but if someone else is in the periphery, they become an anti-Nazi? Or do you think they swap their brains out? Are you being sarcastic? No, Chris Van Hollen has unironically become one of my favorite, like, regular ass Democratic senators. And the reason why I say that is because he has done a lot of good stuff when other Democrats were too pussy to even attempt to put their bodies on the line to say anything about all the fuck shit that the administration was doing. Chris Van Hollen has been going nutty mode. He's like one of the most outspoken congresspersons on Israel. He literally flew to El Salvador to extract Kilmar Abrego Garcia. It's actually pretty crazy. Oh my God, Chris Van Hollen got hit with the stroke woke gun, the woke stroke gun, and the goddamn ogre got hit with the anti-woke stroke gun. Van Hollen's was in 22 and Fetterman was in 23. Maybe they hit Van Hollen first to try it out. It was a trial release. No, they were the same week. Wait, what? Statement from Senator Van Hollen. Today, U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen released the following statement. This weekend, I was admitted to George Washington University Hospital for experiencing lightheartedness and acute neck pain. While I was delivering a speech in Western Maryland, at the recommendation of the attending physician, I sought medical attention upon my return. Earlier today, an angiogram indicated that I experienced a minor stroke in the form of a small venous tear at the back of my head. Wait, when was Fetty Wap? Obviously, every case is unique, but without actually weighing in on the Fetterman interview tonight, there is ample history of stroke survivors serving in the Senate. And really recent history too. Tim Johnson, Mark Kirk, Ben Ray Lujan, Chris Van Hollen. Wait, it was around the same time. Bro got stroked out so hard he went to Gaza, bro. U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen and Jeff Merkley, or not Gaza, West Bank, sorry, condemned violence against Palestinians as they visit the historic Church of St. George in the occupied West Bank, which was attacked by Israeli settlers in July. Bro, the stroke giveth and the stroke taketh. What the dude? So how the did this happen to John Fetty Wap? Like, John Fetty Wap had the reverse stroke. Oh my God, 5/15/2002, 5/13/2002. Oh my God. Oh my God. There is an equilibrium. There was a balance. They stroked one out to turn him into this ogre, and they stroked the other one out to turn him into a woke-ger. Perfectly balanced as things should be.